Welcome to 2117 launch event. Actually, before I start my speech, I'm overwhelmed. I think all the text got erased from my head with all the interaction I had with all of you guys. 2117 is a metaverse that embraces the values of humanity. And we are, at Bedu, are building a world that creates equal opportunities for people. A space that will encourage honesty, love, and hospitality. An open world that will encourage the values of tolerance and the sense of responsibility. It's a space with no violence, a space with no racism. It's a chance for humanity to prosper again. And just to clear a question that most likely exists in many of the minds here, yes, 2117 is the year that UAE will build the first colony on Mars. It's a vision inspired by a visionary leader. He basically created a city that is inspiring all of us. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. A group of leaders, group of people, and if I may call them group of Bedouins, they created a country that embraces the values of humanity and tolerance. And this is where we as Bedu got inspired by that vision. Now, the Bedouins have discovered the land, they spread the values of humanity, and they have decided to explore a bit further, the red planet of Mars. The destination has been set by them, and it's all just waiting for the journey to begin. Now, we at Bedu have been inspired by that vision and by those values that has been introduced. And it's not only that we inject it in the product and services that we offer, it's not only injected in the organizational structure that we have as people. Most importantly, it's the way we interact and deliver that to the community. Now, through our two key verticals, UAE NFT, which is our service arm for all the solutions in Web 3.0, and 2117, the Metaverse, we bring to you the leader of Web 3.0 and the next unicorn in this space. I would like to leave you with a short video that explains our story, our manifesto of 2117.
What makes mankind a success? Is it the wealth in our pockets or the hearts in our chest? Success comes with a fight. Not for the one, but for all. Do not rest in the shadows of our past as we search for the answers of tomorrow. A new generation with a sum of traditions before us. Our mission: to reimagine the future of mankind. Through brilliant artistry, limitless imagination, and the infinite possibility of an empowered community. As we raise our helmets, we choose this good fight for the unity of humanity above all else. We are 2117.
Now you might ask yourself what makes this metaverse different. There are 5 key elements that we bet that makes 2117 different than any other metaverse project. The storyline, not only we are linked to a really impressive vision by a leader that inspires most of us, we have taken that further. We are creating our own version of that story. Now, true, there is a big utility that we're going to achieve through alignment with that vision, and that's, most of you have seen the collaboration that we have built with the space agency, Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. A big utility coming in this metaverse where you can simulate the experience of building a full colony on Mars. And that's happening in close coordination with them. I'm not going to explain these 4 elements because we need to leave some alphas for future roadmap release. But that just tells you that we are actually going deep when it comes to the storyline. We are creating value that's going to be replicated not only on the metaverse, also in real life. A metaverse will complement what you guys do in real life. There is a team. It's not only about our team. You're going to see the team of 2117. Maybe you interacted with some of them. We have some geniuses in the room, without pointing on one, but there is one. I'm referring to the actual team, the community that's going to co-develop with us, co-innovate with us, and co-create. Talking about students, universities, companies, organizations, government, public, private. I'm talking about building collaboration not only on the Web3 space, but also on the Web2 space. Building projects together, building business ideas together, converting them into the metaverse. The third is our business model. I bet you all have seen a Web3 project that started development, building, showcasing outside before they raise. I've never seen one. We have been building since the beginning, and now we are proving to you what you're going to basically be joining us when you decide to join us in this journey. Our business model is also encouraging the collaboration with other players when it comes to the co-development and the co-creation. We embrace the technology of blockchain, and we embrace the concept of decentralization, not only as a technology level, not only on the infrastructure side, not only in the decision-making aspect, but also in the development side. And I see Misha looking at me because he doesn't want me to burn his content when he comes on stage. And I'm not going to use his word because I'm going to leave that to him. But we are looking of creating a metaverse that will live forever. And last, which is the 5th, it will be a bit sad if we, with all that vision and with all that strength in terms of creation and team, that the aesthetics and the look and feel are not impressive. That's why we decided to make that space a space where you would love to live in, a space that you would be willing to basically join. And that is the best opportunity for me to introduce our VP of Creative Design, Alexis, to come on stage.
Thank you, Amin. Am I on? Yeah. Thank you very much, Amin. It's an absolute pleasure and an absolute honor to stand in front of you guys here today and present the ideas that we've been working on for so hard and for so long. I've never designed an actual metaverse before, and I've also never designed an interplanetary mission to Mars. So I had quite a lot of challenges that I faced, and I'd like to show you guys what we developed while taking you through some of the challenges that I had. The first thing I think that anyone has to ask themselves when they're doing an interplanetary mission to Mars is, how are we going to get there? And the year is 2117, and we're going to Mars on a rocket ship. But it's not just any rocket ship. It's the Nomad Gen 3 vertical takeoff and landing, ion-propelled colony ship, which we just call the Nomad. The Nomad was developed by Bedu in the year 2100, or actually the development was finished in the year 2100, and it has everything it needs to sustain a successful journey to Mars and to build its first colony on Mars. Just to give you guys an idea of what we're dealing with here, it's absolutely massive. You can see some older spaceships over here, how big those are. And it sits somewhere between the Empire State and the Burj Khalifa. In the year 2180, we try and actually build one that's bigger than the Burj, but we'll get there. So just echoing what Amin said earlier, I went fully into world building here, and we spent a lot of time creating the ideas around the ship and everything that you'll see. This ship has an ion propulsion system at the back with a detachable fusion nuclear reactor, which will be deposited on Mars for energy generation. It's got an autonomous navigation system in the nose. The beds on this thing are super comfortable, so if you fall asleep for 7 months, you're still gonna get to Mars. It's also got a 3D printer, and I can see, thanks, Misha. It's got a 3D printer and building materials in the main hull, so we can actually build our first colonies. And then, probably the most interesting part of the whole ship, we've got a colony ring. And this brings me to the next question that I had to ask myself on the way to Mars is, where are we staying? Where are we sleeping? Where are we eating? And where are we gonna watch all the episodes of our favorite terrestrial TV series in 2117? And what we designed is the Bedu Labs Space Pod, Stage 01. And this is your private 120 square meters of personalized exploration pod. Each Nomad spaceship can carry 200 of these pods, and they're designed to hold one colonist. And I know that sounds like pretty luxe, but this is 2117, the year 2117, and it's the Metaverse, so we figured some things out. So you'll get your own private sleeping quarters, dressing room, and private washroom with an arboretum at the back with plants for fresh air. You'll also, in the main area, have your lounge, massive holographic screen and personal assistant. You'll have your own kitchen and dining room with the solar cooker, which simulates the power of the sun to cook and reheat your food. And let's actually take a look inside. So this is the bedroom. I must apologize, this is my personal bedroom, and it's a bit messy. I was up all night making this presentation, so I didn't have time to clean it. At the back of the bedroom is the bathroom with a small arboretum, with some trees. Here we're looking into the main area, our main lounge area, through the dining room. Over here, I'll just get out the way. I've made a loaf of bread, sourdough, which I learned to make during COVID. I can also make banana bread, really good banana bread in there. Thanks. Yeah. Another picture of our beautiful dining area. I mean, nobody's had a dining experience like this before. The screen on the left, it's actually a screen, so you can actually display anything you want on there, but at the moment it's busy mimicking what's going on outside. The rest is windows. And then this is a look back at our personalized lounge. Now, the most interesting part of your pod is actually just there, behind the lounge. And this right here is the Bedu Labs Short-Range Teleportation System, or BLS RTS, which internally nobody uses, but This was developed in the year 2050, I believe, by Bedu Labs. And they patented this technology, which can give you precise local teleportation movement within a range of about 500 meters with a 99.9% success rate, which went up considerably from the early days of teleportation. So we can't teleport from the Earth to the moon yet, but we can get in there and we can go to our private office and our gallery space and much, much more. Which brings me to the next thing I had to solve, which is what are we going to do for 7 months in a spaceship on the way to Mars? Surely we're not all going to sit in our space pods alone and watch Netflix. So the teleportation system will allow us to move from our space pod to the common areas on the ship. We are going to build restaurants, concert halls, retail spaces, and entertainment. The last touches are being made on these common areas, and all will be revealed very soon. In fact, a few months into your journey, you'll be able to start accessing the common areas, and at the same time, a few months into the journey, we should be flying past the moon. And in the year 2117, the moon has been colonized already. And it was a collaborative effort between 7 of the world's space agencies. It is now a fervent mining hub, a place for archaeologists and hobby sci-fi fans to go. But we're not stopping there. It's a pretty weird place. They've got 350-hour nights, which, if you're not into lunar nightlife, you might not enjoy. But the other reason we're not stopping there is because your citizenship card does not have a lunar visa. And this brings me to the next thing that I had to solve is, how are you guys going to access our ship and come with us? And it's with the 2117 citizenship. Now, the problem with off-world citizenship cards up until this point is they're often made with substandard materials and they have buggy software, so they're really easily hackable, hence the nightlife on the moon, for instance. But not the 2117 card. May I introduce the 2117 citizenship card? And the 2117 citizenship card is built with a very advanced titanium alloy, which can withstand anything that the cosmic journey has to throw at it. It is also fully upgradable, so the more you do in our metaverse, the more you can upgrade the alloys and the metals, and that will all be revealed soon as well. Once activated, the card will expand with a retractable plasma screen, which will display all the necessary information you need to show to anyone while you're on our metaverse. It also includes the year and live weather information from Mars. Actually, we can pull that live weather information from Mars from the Mars rover, so that's actually real. That was when I made this card, so it was like about a few weeks ago. It was negative 19 and 99 degrees. It's just quite a big range. You'll also get to eventually put your profile picture on here. As you achieve more achievements and you get more rewards, you'll be able to upgrade your card. So I'd like to emphasize that nothing you do in our metaverse will go unnoticed. You will be rewarded for everything that you do. And so the final question for now, I have a lot more questions, but the final question for now is, what on earth are we going to do when we get to Mars? Should I say, what on Mars are we going to do when we get there? And it should be pretty obvious by now that what we're going to do is we're going to build a colony. But to build a colony, you have to start somewhere, to build a new world. So the first ships will build our first basic colonies, and our ships have been made in a specific way so that they can drop structures where we can start putting all our government buildings, administrative buildings, entertainment, and anything else that we need. Obviously, once we start to terraform Mars, we can start to build more complex colonies. We can start to simulate weather like you have on Earth. We can start to build forests. And this is where everybody can help us build. where everybody has a chance to input on the design process on how we build the next few colonies after our first one. And of course, to build a metaverse like this, we're going to also need the best technology experts. And I'm very proud to say that we have the smartest people in the room working on this. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Misha Hanyan, our co-founder and futurist at 2117, who was literally born in the Museum of the Future. So you should feel very at home here. Misha?
You know what, guys? I will go there. I will start here, and first of all, thank you very much for coming tonight. And with your permission, I will introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Misha Hanyan, and I'm one of those crazy guys that stands behind the technology that huge team is actually working on. And I personally bringing a little bit of 30 years of experience in technology, and I believe in technology literally from day one. And technology was all my life fascinating me, and for me it was always a driver. And what I really like about it from technology, it's actually sometimes when we invent something, when we do something, we don't really realize what's going to be the next, or how it's going to be even used in the future. So technology started while back. And I believe, and actually I'm glad to see that a lot of scientists in the world agreed between them that one of the biggest inventions in human history was the wheel. And by the way, for me, it's some sort of emotional touch that this wheel was invented in this region, in the Middle East. So almost every single scientist in the world agreed that the first wheel was invented in the Middle East. And what's really important to see that if we will try to analyze even technological history, what we managed to build from this, like immediately, at some point, immediately, right, when we talk about the scale, we got machineries, we got engines, we got planes, and we're coming to this, and this is what we're building. And we do believe that it will come, and actually, millions of years from now, people will refer to this exactly the same way how I was referring to the wheel right now. Because at some level, we even don't know what will be the usage of the things that we are building. And tonight, you already heard many times the word metaverse. So what is the metaverse in general? If you ask me, from my perspective, it's the new era. It's something that none of us, including me, including all the craziness that I know sits here, we really can envision what's there. What I do know for a fact, that the metaverse, it's the new era. It's the foundation for something new that will allow us actually even to change the way we think, the way we operate, the way we do things inside, something that will influence on us. And it's quite interesting. It fascinates me a lot. We're building something that will influence on us. We're building something that will change the entire way we live, not just play, not just connect, go to work, not just do like regular things. We're building something that will change the way we live and progress, and how the evolution is changing. And now, I would really want to step aside again and talk about technology, what we are building, and what is actually even futurism. Technology, it's something that we have right now. So we're leveraging something that already exist on the market. And by the way, like, I think we really in a perfect mode right now, perfect situation that the technology that we already have in hands allows us to create something that doesn't exist now. So yes, we're leveraging cloud services. We're leveraging heavily security aspects. By the way, like, we constantly under the attack. We fight with hackers literally non-stop, 24/7 on every single initiative, on every single step that we do. So when we build this, we're putting a lot of emphasis. I don't say I'm proud on this, but I probably made everybody crazy in Bedu when on every move that I'm not allowing to touch anything without rubber stamp that it's good from security perspective. It's really important. We're leveraging things that, again, today, quite buzzwords like AI, but we work on the next generation. I believe the next generation of AI that will be there, it's actually not AI, it's artificial curiosity. We want to build ecosystem that will allow entity inside to grow by itself and be curious, not to follow particular algorithms, how to do this if this happens. No, we want to create something that will live inside, that will be our, I would say, digital replica, if you will. So with all that, we're talking about quite big realization. Imagine this, if we're building something that will interconnect with our life on the levels that at some moment we will start kind of even losing where's the borders. Where's the borders between now and where's the borders in next 40 seconds when I'm already inside this 2117 metaverse? What it means? For me, it means that eventually I'm growing my digital brother, somebody that actually learns together with me, learns the way I think, learns the way I learn my approaches, learns my values, learns things that I would probably do in the future. And it actually allows us to also assume that with the technology that we're building, and today we can declare that whatever is there, it's going to stay. Can any of you just think about losing internet today? No, right? So the way we build this, it's even now, it's already going to stay forever. And anything that will live in it and will evolve in it will stay forever. So for me, when I was working on this, when I'm designing this, when I'm thinking on this, when I'm even putting some imagination on the components that we're going to build there, how they're going to be used, and I always keep in mind my digital twin that actually at some point will be so interconnected with me that probably will lose even feelings where I am Misha and where I am Misha, a digital Misha, or something. So it actually brings a realization of immortality, because I do believe that eventually, when it will grow, when it will expand, generations from now, kids of my kids will come and ask, how Misha would do this? And my Misha will say, you know what, I think it could be done this. So with everything that we build today, we have strong, strong belief that the metaverse is just, yes, it's a real popular word now, but it's even not the beginning. It's not even the first step. It's not even a first stone. we right now crafting a foundation for for the first stone, and on this stone we will build a new evolution, a new era. And eventually, I know the reaction, the next reaction now, we will get to this, to the singularity, where we will live together as one organism. The digital world, virtual world, artificial intelligence, artificial curiosity, planets, everything will be so interconnected. The data flow will be technically unstoppable. We will be one single organism as a planet, as individual, as community, as the infrastructure. Everything will be interconnected together. And the amount of power that will be generated, it will be, I even cannot imagine amount of power. Like in what measurements we will be measuring this power. But I do know how we will call it that at that moment. We will call it singularity. And with this note, I want to bring back our CEO to the stage and let you enjoy the rest of our vision and see what we have prepared for you guys.
Thank you. We're reaching to the part that many of you are interested to know. We are calling it Citizenship Strategy. We're avoiding to use the classical ways of Web3, as you can see. We're basically just breaking all the rules in Web3. So we're not calling this minting strategy, for example. We are just taking that out from our dictionary. So Citizenship Strategy is basically, since we are building this world, how can we build it with a specific quantity? How can we limit the number of people that can join 2117? The whole concept does not work. So that's why it's an open edition. Everybody is welcome to join 2117. It's going to be available in the second part of October. I guess you are familiar with this. Even Apple, when they release their phones, it's available after a while. So we are doing the same. Yeah. We are doing it in 2 sales. The private sale going to be priced at 0.2117, classic. And whoever joins us at that time is getting a rare drop. And during the public sale, we are pricing it at 0.25 ETH, and it's also going to be enabled for the Web 2 people to join. Now, I just want to make a disclaimer, because we know that there is a time from now until October. All what we promise you is that if the market goes up, goes down, we're going to stick with the dollar value that is equivalent to that ETH. Another piece of information as well to share with you. This is a roadmap. You can take pictures. You can basically really come back and ask us if we are delivering this or not. So by end of this year, we are releasing the citizenship, the staking mechanism that will enable people to be rewarded, the possibility of fiat payment, and all the utilities that goes around the spacepod. For whoever did not see the spacepod, the actual metaverse, it's available outside. You can see some of the utilities. I actually got a bit mad at Misha today because he did hide some of the utilities, but he gave me a reason. He said, we need to keep more alphas for next week and the week after. And then there is 7-month journey that Alexis mentioned. There will be multiple events. We are calling that the Great Crossing, where the spaceships are launching and then we are landing in Mars. We're going to enable the multiplayer concept where avatars and companions will be enabled. The common areas that Alexis as well showcased to you going to be available. The quests and the challenges will be there. The possibility for people to get rewarded and get as well the concept of game to earn might come into play. The houses, if you remember the picture, the 4 names that I said, part of the story that I'm not going to release. We're calling them houses, not more than that. You're going to know it basically soon. And then by July, August, we are basically landing in Mars, where the people who are going to join going to experience a full colony with its all ecosystem that enables it. The all retail and businesses, encouraging businesses and offices to come and start their business within 2117. And then comes at the end of 2023, all the complementary components that goes around the metaverse. We are inspired by the UAE KeyPass. During my Web 2 time, actually, I was involved somehow in it. But I'm impressed by how UAE KeyPass is evolving, and we're trying to create something similar in the metaverse, where you can control your metaverse using your mobile device. And then we are introducing our token, and imagine new jobs being created in the metaverse. As an HR agent coming to you, telling that there is this vacancy available, are you willing to apply for it? And then when you do, you get paid for the service and the job that you do and fulfill in the metaverse. And then the concept of interconnectivity between Web 2 companies, Web 3 companies come into play. Now, with all the information we shared with you, and with the big statement that we made at the beginning, that we plan to be the leader and the Web 3 unicorn, we better have a really big goal to achieve. In 10 years, we're planning to hit 10 million users coming into 2117 Metaverse. And with that, we're going to be able to create a metaverse for all, a metaverse that embraces humanity. Thank you.